Hey y'all, it's Jasmine with a She Thing, the place for women to feel seen and heard. Today we have a very, very special guest, my girl Asada Sharif. I'm super excited to be interviewing Asada today. She has so much gems to drop today. So let's get started. My first question for you, Asada, is who is Asada?
Okay, so Asada is a lot of things. I'm bubbly, energetic. I'm always seen as like the mom in my friendships, family. I'm always given that nurturing role, but I'm also independent and I am a businesswoman. So I have my own business known as Lash Lounge, and I've been a business owner by myself for 6 years now. And it always was not easy for me. So I went from having a law school track to changing and flipping and pursuing an entrepreneur role. So I think that sums up Asada, like very driven, motivated, and no one can get in my way no matter what. I've always been a person that is not scared to be different from someone else. Like that's me.
Yes, I love that. Speaking of you saying that you are a very motivated individual, what keeps you motivated?
Um, I think what's crazy? Like most people say, like their family or I don't know, people used to say their kids or stuff. I feel like really for me is self-driven and God is like my biggest motivation. Like ever since a little girl, I've always had my own relationship with God. I've always spoken up. Like it was weird because I wasn't even going to church all the time as a kid. Like my family didn't force religion. We was religious, but they didn't force it. But I always had my own relationship where I talked to him and I explained to him how I felt or just honestly, I always felt like that was my motivation is to prove him that I can do this or that. It was never through other people. And it's always been like that. I'll tell him something and my fiance, he says the same thing. Like I'll say something and then I get it done and I do it. And I say because once I make that promise to God, I feel like I have to get it done and it has to be successful. And if he feels like it's not necessary, he will divert me elsewhere. So that's my biggest motivation. Honestly, I know it sounds very maybe cliche, but that really is my biggest motivation.
No, it does not sound cliche. That's really beautiful. And I feel like sometimes like that's holding yourself accountable, right? So it's like you
Yes,
putting this out
yes,
there, you saying that you're going to do it, and it's like I'm not trying to find 101 ways of why it's not going to work. It's like I said it, I'm going to do it. So I feel like
yes,
that's very, very that's a really good mindset to have, and it shows because in your efforts to be an entrepreneur, even when you was on your law track, you were successful.
yeah,
So that's that's
yeah.
that's really beautiful.
No, for
Um,
sure. And I feel
yeah.
like because my relationship with God is very like I'm God fearing and I'm emotional towards him, which is something my friends or family don't really see. They always call me cold hearted and like very I don't know. I don't show emotion outside of my home. So with him, I can actually like be vulnerable and I can actually like pray and cry and stuff. So when I'm in the shower, I'm crying and talking. So that's like the one place where I feel like I feel motivated to do something because you know the true me in and out. So that's really why.
Right. I love that. Um, so with that being said, I'm sure your answer is going to be God, but what helps you to overcome your fears?
Um, overcome fears. It actually isn't just God for this one. I will give my fiance a lot of respect for this because he pushes me when I do not want to be pushed. He definitely helped me overcome my fears. He's the type of guy that although okay, so he loves me. He always says that he loves me more than I love him. So I feel like because of that, he sees way more than me than I see myself sometimes. So when I'm fearful of maybe for business wise to start a new product, right now I'm focusing on starting a new product line for my business. He'll tell me like we can put this, and this together, put it in perspective. We could see how it looks. Like we could draw out everything, map everything, and that will like kind of soothe me. He helped me get rid of that fear because he knows how I cope with things. I'm a very visual person, so if you don't show me like what it can look like on the outside, like the other side of things, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run real far away. So he helps me like see things in a different way. So I think that's really how we balance and work for each other. Or else I would be scared to do a lot of things. Trust me. I was
That's
scared.
dope.
I was scared to change my career. So when I was going the law school route, I was petrified to tell my family that I was not interested in this anymore. I was just good at it. So like my mom, she's a detective. My stepdad, he's an officer. So my whole life, my aunt, she's a lawyer. My godmom's a sheriff. My whole life, like the department and social justice system has been around me and a part of me. So that's why I went to BCIT, is because to pursue law. I've always known I wanted to go to law school. I was always into criminal shows and true crime and stuff. But I realized just because I'm good at something don't mean that that's my passion and my ultimate end goal. You can be a jack of all trades. You can be interested in a lot of things, but that doesn't define what you really, really love to do. And I had to get out of that fear. And he was the biggest reason why I decided to stick up to my parents and let them know, like, I'm changing my path. Even though I was a young adult, but at the end of the day, we all know we have fear of telling people the truth.
Especially our parents, when it's like, you feel like they're married to you having this
Yeah,
certain career goal. And it's like, you feel like you're going to disappoint them, and you won't ever want to disappoint your parents when you care about them.
exactly. Like, and then when they see something in you, just like anyone else, like people see certain things in you that they think you're good for, you're good at. And when you're succeeding or excelling in something, they're like, well, why would you change gear? You're doing good. Like, you're in a straight path. Why would you change gear? But I saw something else. And I really think it was when I was in the courtroom, I would basically like get emotional for the victim, like the person who's going to jail. So more than the victim, to be honest. I would get really upset about that. So I realized I'm not cut out for this. It's something, my personality is not good for this. It's something that I would get tired of and bored of really quick. And honestly, the justice system is always going to be unfair, no matter. I don't care who's put in a role; it's always going to be unfair. So I couldn't see myself doing that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Sometimes no, for real, sometimes it's better to go on your own track when it comes to certain things, because it's like, if you see so many injustices, it's like you're gonna drive yourself crazy trying to fix them all, you know? Sometimes
No,
it's kind of better to
seriously.
go a different route, to try to still make that impact within that field, but not directly in it. Um,
Seriously.
yeah. So, all right. So you kind of touched on this a little bit. So, my next question basically was, what did you want to be when you grew up initially? And clearly, it was a lawyer. What kind of lawyer did you want to be, though?
I never had like a definitive answer for that. I've never had a
Okay.
definitive answer. It was always like maybe criminal, maybe divorce, maybe family, maybe real estate. I never knew. I just knew that I liked serving people and helping people. And I realized you can serve and help people in different ways.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So then, all right. So you were in law school. You were doing your thing in law school, whatever. You got your bachelor's degree, so you finished
Mm-hmm.
the initial steps to even go into law school. What
Yeah.
made you even get into entrepreneurship?
So I started my lash business um my junior year of college. So I started that my junior year of college, and I've always just looked at it as a side hustle because I was still on that law track mindset, laser vision. And then I just something I think it was really my man, like something clicked and he was telling like he's a business guy. He went to school for business. And I never really looked at business because the people around me really just worked for men. Like I don't have a lot of people who had entrepreneurship. Now my mother has her own business, but it wasn't until after mine. So I just thought like you work, you good, you get a good career, and you'll be successful. That's always how I saw it. But him being a business guy, he saw things totally different. Like he's working for big businesses. Like he works for CeraVe, L'Oreal. So he sees that you can make your dreams come true. So just listening to his self-motivation speeches to me helped me realize like you can do that. And then COVID happened too. And that changed like completely for me. COVID was where I was able to take all of us was able to take that break, reset. You see families getting broken, people lives changing, and I was able to really be able to figure out if I wanted to do this for the rest of my life or
Right.
I really enjoyed this more. And that's when I realized I'm like, no, I enjoy this more. Like I get satisfaction over beauty. I've always been into it, but never took it as serious. So that was really COVID. COVID helped a lot. And then once COVID ended, basically like 2020, it took forever for COVID to really end. But let's just say 2021, my business just went wildfire. Did really good success. I made six figures that year.
What made you why lashes?
Honestly, that just kind of just came upon me. It wasn't like, no, like, oh my God, I always thought about lashes. Like, I adore lashes. Like, no, to be completely honest, my god sister, she was an esthetician already. She lived in North Carolina though. So I used to always stalk her stories. She was like a big inspiration. She started doing lashes, and I'm like, what is this? What is extensions? Like, everybody, we know strips, we know the nail salon clusters, but I didn't know nothing really about extensions. And this like 6 years ago, no, like 7 years ago, and she started posting it a lot, and I was like, oh, she's doing good and she's making money and it's lasting, people loving her. So I started asking her a lot of questions about it, started grilling her and like really dissecting her mindset about it, if I should get into it. And she was like, yes. And she told me everything I know. And mind you, we had to do everything through FaceTime because she's in North Carolina and I'm in Pennsylvania in college. So she told me everything I know. And I was hard boy first. The first 2 years, I think, was the worst work I ever did in my life. But if you're a college student, you're college, you know that everybody is dying to try anything. And it was giving me like $30, $40. So I had a lot of models to like do bad work on, and it got good.
No, that's really dope. Like that's really amazing because especially in our community, I feel like a lot of people love to gatekeep. They love to
Yeah.
be like, oh, well, I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta pay for a class or you gotta do this
Mm-hmm.
and third. And it's like, it's free. Me personally, like, I don't ever want to give somebody else the hard way to go. If it's something that you want to know that I'm doing and you want to do it, I'm going to give you the information. It's not really on my
I'm the
heart
same way.
to make nickel and dime people. It's really not.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way, and I realized I'm the same way when like I thought I could do that, and then like even still to this day, I have people who like look at my Instagram page and they'll message me. I get like so many messages a day, like, "Hey, how did you do this edit?" or "Hey, how did you do this? What lash glue are you using?" And sometimes I do be thinking like, Asada, you're supposed to say, if you take this class, you can get this information, or if you buy this ebook. And like, I'm so weak when it comes to that because I just give them the answer. But naturally, like you said, in my heart, I'm not a gatekeeper. Like, that's just something I do. Now, and most times for the benefit of yourself, you having a kind heart, people still want to buy your stuff just based off that. And I realized that like I can be myself. I don't have to be a no strict business girl because my man, he's very strict business. Like if it was up to him, he wouldn't give y'all no information. You got to pay this, and this to reach him. So he'd be mad at me sometimes, but I realized it always, glory to God, it always comes back to me every time. Every time it always comes back.
No, absolutely. And I just feel like even like you said, like people just because you're a genuine person and you're a good person, they'll want to support your class. But not for
Mm-hmm.
nothing, if you're telling somebody, oh, this is how I do my strip, or this is the glue I use, or these are the lashes I use, that's not teaching them the technique. It's the technique
That's
that really
true.
makes you who you are. You know what
That's
I
true.
mean? So that's what the
Very
paying
true.
for the class is about, is paying for the technique when you go to the class, because then you can get that one-on-one, you can really dive into it and learn it. You know what I mean?
That's no,
And I
that's
feel like a lot of people understand that.
that's very true. And that goes back to say like what everybody be like, oh, there's enough lash techs in the world, there's enough hairstyles in the world. No, there's not, because there's 8 billion people in this world and no one's gonna do the sauce like you do it. So that's why I always tell people like I could teach 100 girls how to do lashes. Don't mean all 100 of those girls gonna do it the same way. They all gonna have their own way of doing it. So that's very true. Don't gatekeep because
Yeah,
we're all different.
absolutely. Um, so so clearly you're like a really, really busy girl, right? You,
Not
you be
too
you be
busy.
you be booked and busy. Like you was just in school, you're doing lashes,
I
you're
be
doing
like, I'm busy. Yeah, I'm busy. I ain't gonna lie, I'm busy.
um
It
what
was
does
okay. I wasn't busy as soon as I got here though. So that was like, this is the thing, like for insight for people that don't know, I'm originally from New Jersey and I moved to Atlanta
wait, wait,
about
wait,
a
wait,
year
wait,
and
wait,
a
wait,
half
wait,
ago.
hold on, we're gonna
Oh,
get
sorry,
there.
go
We're
ahead.
gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Sorry.
It's okay. But okay, so my next question basically was like, how do you manage and organize your day to day?
To organize and manage, it's pretty. I feel like my day to day. I like being busy though. I've always been that type of person that I like to juggle 500 things on my hand. I might cry it into the night, but I still like love it. Like it's fun for me. I'd be like, oh my god, like let's do this. So for me, all I need is a little app to tell me what I got going on for the day, and I'm good. Like I don't really need much other juggling. The only thing is that I really always be needing my man to be like, okay, I'm bringing you Chick-fil-A, or like, okay, I'm making you this food. Like that's all I need for him. My love language is acts of service. So if someone's there just to give me those little checkups to be like, did you eat today or did you do this? That's all I need besides that. But juggling to me, I know people be having certain techniques they use, but all I need is a calendar and they say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and I'm good. And the only
What app do
unhealthy
you
thing
use?
is
Sorry,
I
go ahead.
use a cute. Go ahead. I use Square Cutie.
Okay.
Yeah, Square Cutie. But for like business meetings, I just use Google Calendar.
Okay.
But sometimes I be having to put it in my Square Cutie too. So like for instance, how our meeting is today, I will put it in a Cutie to make sure I don't have a client at that time too. But
Okay.
it's pretty easy to do that. The only thing that sucks with juggling your day to day is when you are an entrepreneur, you're not really ever off. So it's like you can, because this is because we put our books out earlier than we may should have. So for instance, like say if February, I want to be off on February 14th for Valentine's Day. If I put my books out on January 30th and I didn't have a Valentine on February 14th, I might not have blocked that day off. And then now I got a Valentine on February 3rd, and I'm like, dang, I want to go out on February 14th, but now you can't. So you have to work that day no matter what because someone already booked it. So that's the only thing that gets a little sad, or like you you just have to be strong for this business because you're gonna miss out on a lot of date nights, a lot of girl trips and stuff. You are gonna miss out on a lot of those things.
Yeah. Um, I feel like some people don't understand. I feel like that's with anything though. Like whatever you do, there's always going to be life sacrifices, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
planning accordingly is definitely essential, and planning ahead. Like sometimes, like even for me, like as a nurse, by February 15th, we have to have our summer vacations in. Who has their summer vacation booked by February 15th?
See, that's
But
crazy.
it's like if
Like,
you think about it, like say for you, like as an entrepreneur, if you like, all right, well, this month, if you plan out your say it's November and you plan out your whole 2024 or the whole following year, whatever,
right.
then you already know, like, of course things happen, so it may not happen according to plan exactly, but at least you will already have like, all right, in May, I'm gonna have off 2 weeks blocked off because I know I'm going on vacation. You know what I mean? So in advance, you already have
Right.
that blocked off before you even open up that schedule. So I think that sometimes like doing stuff like that is important because like you said, say you want to do something on a humbug, it's like, no, now you can't because you didn't even allow for that time because you know you're booked and busy.
Exactly. Or if you're a person that provides services, it's a little different because if you're working like a 9 to 5 and you get sick the whole week, Monday through Sunday, you're sick. You go in Monday and you just lose your 7 sick days. Whereas I'm working 9 to 5 for my business and I'm sick Monday through Sunday. I have to reschedule all those clientele to the next week and still do the people that was already booked for that week. So that's where it feels like, dang, like I wish I was just, sometimes I do be thinking, I'd be like, dang, I wish I was just working for somebody or just working a regular job because I don't have to deal with someone getting angry at me because I'm sick or because of this. It's like pros and cons of both because, yeah, it's pros and cons of both.
No, and I definitely understand that because y'all definitely not allowed to get sick. But I feel like too,
Yeah,
I
because
feel
look, you
like
need your lashes done still too, right?
I'm not gonna go and be in Bahamas. You cannot let me go out like this. Like that's a bad joint. But no, I feel like in those instances, sometimes that's when God is kind of trying to show you to like clean house. Those people who get
Yeah.
irate, act crazy, those are not your people. You know what I mean? And sometimes God
Yes.
just has to show you who's your people and who's not, because at the end of the day, I'm a human being. I have human experiences. So people
Yes.
really just have to be understanding when it comes to stuff like that.
Yes. And
And I feel like
once
too, though, on top of
yeah.
that, people in the service industry need to be a little not I'm not speaking to you directly, but in
I
general,
know, I know, I know.
people in the service industry need to be a little bit more compassionate when stuff like that does happen.
Yes, and professional. Not everybody know how to work and do that correctly.
Yes, like okay, if you're sick, I'm so like say I'm sorry for being sick. Like even though it's under your
Yes,
control, say I'm sorry for being sick. I will give you your deposit back if you want it back, or
yes,
we can reschedule.
yes.
People should have to ask for their deposit back in situations
I
like that.
was just about to say that, but no, I've never actually had that experience. I think that's another reason why my clientele is like very loyal is because I think about things like that. Heck, I hate when I get sick because I'm automatically thinking like, okay, I gotta send you your deposit back if you do not want to reschedule to this day and day. But yeah, but I see it more with hairstylists, like
Yeah,
cosmetology. That unprofessionalism is more so cosmetology than esthetician, but I've seen estheticians slip into. I know.
yeah.
You get that
No,
hey, you get that hey boo text a lot, huh, Jazz?
I, I really try to be understanding because, like, honestly, like, so I read this book. I swear about this book. It's called "What Happened to You" by Oprah Winfrey, and in that book, really
Uh-huh.
kind of tried to. It helped me to put myself in other people's shoes. Like, don't just assume like what's wrong with you. It's like what happened to you. Like, let's look at the full picture of like what's going on with that person. Like, sometimes like if I go to somebody and like it'd be a little issue or something like that, people are like, why do you still go to them? And it's like I really build relationships with the people I go to. Like anybody I go to,
Exactly.
my hair, my makeup, my lashes, whatever, I build relationships with people. I don't just go and like jump from person to person. Like I really love
I'm not
building genuine relationships with people. So whatever
right.
I do, like I always understand. I'll be like, girl, now for real, like we really get late, but
Exactly. And you should be
I
able
deal
to
with
do
them.
that. Yes, you should be able to do that. I just had to talk to my mom about that because she was quick to get angry about her esthetician who had to like cancel her appointment and my mom was already there. So she's like, what the heck? Who does that? It's so unprofessional. I said, take a deep breath. Think about what really could have happened. She's never done this before. And she canceled and you're already there, you don't think it's a big emergency for her to even do that. And sometimes, even us as people, you have to think about yourself. When you go through an emergency like that's really big, you're not like sometimes you're so messed up in the head, you're not even thinking about telling the person who you're supposed to be with what's going on. You're freaking out too. So you had to put yourself in those shoes. And then my mom told me, she was like, you were so right. Her daughter got rushed to the hospital. And I said, see, like it
Yeah.
was like bet she's good now, y'all. But this is like a good example to explain like just take you gotta take that deep breath and just put yourself in that person's shoes for sure.
Definitely. Like that's really, really big.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean I feel like I already have a gist of it because it just first of all, I've known Asada since high school. Like I think I
Yes.
was a senior and you were a freshman.
You see me grow.
Yeah, so it's like
Yes, and you was a senior. Yes, you were a senior. I was a freshman.
so just in that time, like you were always such a genuine person. Like you literally got me a birthday gift. Like y'all, my birthday is in November.
Yeah.
Y'all know school starts September. Like I'm like, oh my God, like I literally not expect that. But you always had a really good, genuine heart. Like that was just always you.
Yeah.
So when I ask this next question, I feel like I already have a gist of like what it would be, but what makes Lashed Out Lounge unique from other people?
Think definitely me as a person, the person behind the brand. I've noticed from all of my clients, like if you asked me this like a few years ago, I'd be like, I don't know. But like I've noticed from all my clients, they tell me that they literally will come to an appointment, even if they lashes still look decent. They will come to an appointment just to talk to me. Like they love how genuine I am, how much I care for them. They respect me and I respect them. I go above and beyond to accommodate my clients until you can't be my client anymore. Um, I've I really care about my brand and my business. Like I put my all into this. I literally be heck, I just told that like I was off at like 5 o'clock today, and I've been there since the time of this meeting. I was there figuring out new ways to get bookings or new ways to like just expand my business. So I'm always brainstorming how to make it better, and I'm always wanting to know if y'all have any insight or any tricks, tips you think that could blow me up even more. But I think it's definitely me and the drive and the care I have for my business. Um, yeah, that's really it. Like I can't even say it's no marketing strategy. I don't think it's none of that. I give people myself. Even if you go on my social media page, you will see a lot of me and my clients. Like I make a good diversity. And another thing is I have a diverse clientele. I can be me around anyone and everyone loves me. And I never understood why, but I feel like I'm very confident now where now I can be cocky a little about it. I can be like, yeah, I am that bitch. Before I never felt that way, but I definitely see why because I do care. I do.
Yeah. And I feel like Medford play a big role in that diverse aspect. We had no choice but to
For
be able to.
sure. For sure. We dealt with a lot of different people, girl.
Right. But
Oh my God. A lot of different races, a
no,
lot of different
absolutely.
personalities.
Yes, like that definitely it was a good thing. Like I was irked about it because I didn't have anybody going in, but eventually like I was like, all right, this really was a good thing. But the one thing I will say, and I feel
You
like a
didn't
lot of
have
people
nobody
don't.
going in?
No, I
I
didn't
didn't
have
even
no
know.
friends when I went there. I didn't know
Dang.
anybody.
You was coming from, oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. But it allowed me to like I can go in any room and make friends. I can go in any room and feel confident. Like I can go in any room and just
Yeah,
be
you
who
was
I am
definitely that
authentically.
girl at MedTech, y'all.
Right.
She trying to be all, she trying to be all shy. She was that girl. She would always, she could talk to anybody would want her. She was always a glowy person, a beautiful soul in and out, to me at least.
Oh, I love that.
Always.
The one thing I do have a suggestion, right? And I
Yes.
be telling people this all the time, right? If two things, right? If you have a
Mm-hmm.
slogan that you always say to your clients, or you should put you get shirts made, right? Get shirts
Get
made
shit
and
to me.
put whatever slogan that you always say to your clients on it and sell them. Or put on there, Lashed Out Lounge, Lashed Me. And
Did
put
do
your information on there.
I did do sweatshirts. They did sell out. I did sweatshirts. What's that? 2021, I think, or 2022. I did do sweatshirts, and they did sell out. They did really good. But I don't know why. I just So I only stopped because the girl, because I had got them embroidered. I had embroidered sweatshirts because I didn't really want to do print. I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna try embroidered so they could like really buy them. And they sold out, but the girl closed her shop down. So that's really why I stopped.
All right, I got
And I was
another person
supporting.
that
She
you can go
went to
to.
BCIT too. I was trying to support someone that went to BCIT. She was doing really good, but she moved to Florida and she closed her shop down.
Okay, well,
I gotta do it again. You're very right. I don't know my slogan though. I gotta figure that out.
yeah, I mean, ask your clients like what's something that you say. Maybe you could do like
Okay.
something where like when your clients come in, you'll have a like little sheet and they say what's something that like just ask them a little bit of questions like what brings you back. What's something that you say like just that's something that you could do for like a point of improvement as well because it's like maybe something that you didn't think
Yeah,
was very impactful is very impactful and then somebody would like tell you through that. I
that's
think
very
doing
true.
that doing yeah like doing like having points where you're able to like reevaluate yourself and like kind of look over your business from a different perspective is very important within the service industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like shirts are very important because not only is it's something that you can make money with in your sleep, it's also
Mm-hmm.
something that is going to be people are walking billboards. People are going to
No,
walk around, have
seriously.
your information on them, and it's like not for nothing they're walking around with their lashes done and they got the shirt on. I don't even have to go up to you and ask you where did you get your lashes from because I could just go ahead and pop the Instagram on that I see on your
No,
shirt.
seriously. Yeah, I just saw a girl who had QR codes on the back of her sweatshirt, and that was so smart. I was
Yeah.
like, that is so smart. Like people just
Yeah,
walking
like different stuff
around.
like that. Yeah. Even
Okay,
products is very
I
good
gotta ask.
because you've been in it for a minute. So even
Yeah,
if it was like you have a lash vendor that you love, girl, you
yeah.
start selling them lashes wholesale.
Well, that's the plan. So the product
Like,
line is coming out. It's coming out
okay.
spring, y'all. Spring. It's coming out.
Yes, I love that. And if you ever need help with
Yes.
anything, like I said, I will literally help you with whatever you need help with. Like I
Thank you.
be up
I totally
overnight.
appreciate that. Because
Yeah.
you've been selling stuff. So and you've been doing real good. So no, I definitely appreciate that for sure. Because I do be overthinking things. Like I've had my vendors for my product line for almost a year now, and I've tested them out and everything. And my one of my friends, she's a lash tech too, and she's just like, "You're making me mad because this is good. Why haven't you done it yet?" And I'm just like, I'm just a perfectionist. Like I'm like, It's not yet. I think I want to switch out the glue vendor. Like I keep switching things. So, but spring, summer, I promise you it'll be out.
All right. Well, to that, I just want to say nothing is ever going to be perfect.
I know.
You
I
know, and
know.
even if, say, if you come out right, it's nothing wrong
Mm-hmm.
with coming out with something. People kind of give you feedback that it doesn't work, and
And
then
doing
you
it
switching
better.
it up.
Yeah.
There's no problem with that. Like, please
I
do not
know.
beat yourself up about it. Please do not feel like, oh my God, like this has to come out and this has to hit hard the first time. Like, no. Trial and error is very important and it's essential to success because when you are faced with trial and error,
Yeah.
then you learn a lesson from it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That
it
is so
makes
true.
you better for real
That's
in
so
the long
true.
run. So sometimes it's like you be sitting there like, damn, I am tired of adversity. I don't want no more tests. I need testimonies. Like, come on. But the
Seriously,
test is what makes the testimonies that much better. Like,
that's
so
true.
I think that
No,
that's important.
that's very good to hear because I do overthink. So trust me, that positive affirmation is something I need to hear. Because if it's up to me, nothing will ever be out. Like that's why I definitely be pushing me because I'm a Sagittarius. Like I'm a perfectionist for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Like to me, nothing ever's gonna be right. That's why I haven't got no kids yet. People be like, "You've been with someone for this amount of years and you don't got no kids," because I feel like I overplan everything. It's
But
sad.
also too, like with that in mind, please don't let nobody pressure you into having no kids. Like people love to have kids and let them struggle with them. No, like you're literally in a position where you are trying to perfect what you have going on right now. Why would you throw kids in the mix of that?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. That's what
You have
that
time.
trust
You
me.
are still
Nobody can
young.
pressure me. That's one thing they can't pressure me about is kids. I am very, very comfortable where I am and I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
like
good.
please.
I'm
People be
trying to be
all right.
like Jazz. I'm trying to have all these nieces and nephews and just wait until wait until I'm ready. Like I got time for that. Mm-mm.
No,
Mm-mm.
seriously. Like even with the man, I just feel like right now is a very good time to just come and focus on y'all and what you have going on because at the end of the day, once you have a child, it would no longer ever just be you and him. Even if it's you and him, you're gonna be like, how's my child? What's my child doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's always going to be like a focus on them. So I feel like right now is the best time to just grow and build. And once y'all have that solid foundation where y'all really feel like y'all comfortable, like, all right, we're not done doing what we're going to do, but I feel like we're in a good spot. Then you can settle down and do what you want to do. But until then,
Exactly.
absolutely not. This is not the 1970s.
Because first come marriage, then come the baby in a baby carriage, period.
Right.
And my business is my baby right now. So that's in the carriage. That's all. My business is my
Absolutely.
baby. And we'll worry about the rest later. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. I love that you're gonna let, you know.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So you started talking about this a little bit, and I had to cut you off. But so
Mm-hmm.
you are from Jersey.
Oh,
You're
yes. I'm
from
from New
Jersey
Jersey.
and
Yes.
you moved to Atlanta. What made you switch cities and how did you manage that transition?
Okay, so my family, so I actually been going to Georgia since I was actually like 6 years old. My family moved down there like 20 years ago, and I would literally take a plane by myself. Like my mom would have to pay extra for the flight attendant to sit next to me, and I would take a flight every summer. I was in Georgia, so I never used to get to like grow strong friendships because I was always in Georgia during the summers, and that's when kids play or whatever. So I always said I was gonna move there actually for high school. And my mom, she said I could, and then she took it back. So I wasn't able to go for high school. So I was stuck in Jersey a little longer. And then I said I was gonna go for college. And it just kept feeling like I just kept pushing it back. College, I didn't go because I fell in love with my fiance now. And I stayed because of him. And it was a great I definitely do not regret my decision. And then now I was like, it's finally time. Like COVID happened. I can't keep pushing it back. Like lives are ending. Things are going crazy. So like, this is the time. I established myself here. So I felt like if I could establish myself here, why wouldn't I be able to establish myself in like a big city that's known for Black entrepreneurs and beauty and just building yourself? Like it's the Black Hollywood. That's what everybody refers to Atlanta as. So I moved there. And it was the total opposite of what I thought it would be. Like, it was total opposite. I was broke, y'all. I was living on savings. Thank God. Like, not broke, because thank God my business was so successful in Jersey. So I saved like $30,000. And I was like, okay, I'm going to like use this for a little while. And then I decided I'm going to go to esthetician school. So I paid for esthetician school, lived off of savings. Of course, I had my fiance who was very supportive. He was holding down the house, whatever. And I said, this is like my 1 year, like it's do or die. If I don't get my business or clientele running, I'm going back to Jersey. Especially because where we lived in Jersey is a small town, living in like South Jersey. So it's very small and it's easier to build clientele there because it's not a lot of beauty entrepreneurs, especially on social media where you can just access. When I went to school, I built friendships, I networked, I did everything I had to do. Like, and it's crazy because I was looking at other people around me that was at school with me, and I'm like, girl, you live here, like you from here. It's no way that you shouldn't blow up being from here because you have an upper hand in me. Like, you went to middle school here, high school, you know people, you have family that's from here. And I was like, you know what? If you're not gonna use it, I'm gonna use it. So I built friendships, genuine friendships. We were still really close. And I told their mom, their parents, I putting out flyers. I worked at my first salon and she was very supportive of me. She gave me which no one would ever do. That's why I really do love her. Shout out to Difference Is Salon. She told me I had 6 months of rent free to build clientele, and no one does that in Georgia. You literally have to pay $200 to $250 a week in Georgia for your booth or for your suite. And she gave me 6 months to build clientele. And when I mean I utilized that, I was posting every day. I was asking anybody. And what helps me, this is what jump started. Like, I was starting to get clientele. I was doing really good. I was working weekends. I even had got like this, like, I guess she's like a influencer, celebrity, or whatever you can say. I'm not gonna say her name, but horrible experience. I did a great job on her. And that's when I told myself, like, this is not for me. Like, they're just way rude than you guys think.
Yeah.
So then I had got this gay guy, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use him. I'm gonna see, like, not use him in a bad way. We were friends or whatever.
Right.
I'm gonna see if this like works. So I did this video with him, and it just went viral. And that really like bought me so much clientele. Like, and from there I was like, okay, I have to keep doing this. So then I would like hit up different people who wasn't too big of an influencer, but like someone who's beautiful. They wasn't scared to be on camera, and then I would do her. And it was a risk you have to take. In business, you take risks. So you're giving out maybe a couple free sets, but you have to hope that brings you so much more money. So that worked. And that's like what works for me. And I try to tell everybody, you have to take the risk. It might not have to be you giving out a free set because you might not even be in the lash industry, but you have to risk something. Like, for instance, your scrub, you might send scrubs to a certain person hoping they post that and it will do really well. And that's what I did. And I don't regret my decisions. Of course, it took a lot of me too, showing myself. A lot of people told me they only came to me because they saw myself on my page. They'll be like, oh my God, I feel like I know you already. I'm like, no, you don't, but okay. But like, they were like, I feel like I know you already. I couldn't wait to come, girl. Like, you're that girl, this. And it helped. Just me being myself, me putting myself out there. And then I'm not really like, I go out and I have fun, but like ever since I moved here, I wasn't like really going out. I mean, I was in school, so it wasn't like I was going out a lot. So I was scared. I'm like, oh my God, I have to go out. Like, you have to be in clubs all the time for you to get clientele. And that was what really scared me. I want to tell you to be yourself. Don't feel like you have to fit in a certain crowd to jumpstart your business. Do what's in your own lane. And I feel like I'm good at being successful in my own lane. And like Jasmine said, word from mouth, walking billboards are really good because once one person told this person, they told that person, my name was starting to do better in a city that I thought was too big for me to even be known. So
I love that. The city
yeah,
that you thought was too big for you to even be known. That's so dope.
that's really what I thought. They changed my perspective. And like, oh yeah, and then like was that 3 months ago, like my favorite lash tech of all time, like I literally been watching her since I started. Like, once I first started, like I used to obsess over her. Her name is Lash God Rock. Like 2 months ago, she DM'd me and was like, I want to like interview you and this. And I literally was like, wow, this is crazy. And we contacted, she lives in Canada too, you guys. Like she's really big out there. We talked to each other, we did a live and everything. And that was like that's when I really had confidence in myself that I could do what I want to do and that my business is thriving. I am good at what I do, or people wouldn't. She reached out to me. I didn't even like think to ever reach out to her. I didn't think I was not I would say anything to her, but I'm a person with probably like 3,000 followers. She got like 200K. You don't think that she would even be looking my way, but anything could happen, y'all.
No, absolutely.
Yep.
And it's crazy, guys. Sometimes it's like, it's not that you look for validation of other people, but it's like when you're doing your thing, it's nice to have somebody reach out that you look up to and like give you your flowers. And it's like, for me, like,
Me? No, seriously. That's what I try to tell them. Like, that's nice to feel that. Like, I don't need you to tell me I'm doing good. I know I'm doing good. But for someone to see you and you don't feel like maybe you're not doing as best you thought you would, like, and for someone to tell you, no, girl, I see you and you killing those volume lash tests, I was like, oh wow. And then she even offered me like she wanted me to sell her products and stuff, but obviously conflict of interest because I'm putting out my own product line, so I couldn't do that. But imagine where that could have went if I would have said yes. Like, right. You just never know. You
That's
never
so
know.
dope.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of your confidence and you knowing that you're that girl, you could do whatever. What is your 5-year plan?
So my 5-year plan, so right now, since I just got engaged, I'm like, really, I feel like a lot of stuff is on kind of on pause, but I'm trying to have a good balance between business and still relationship and making sure we're both satisfied in our relationship. So I'm planning my wedding. My wedding is going to be in Mexico. So that's what I'm focused on. That's going to be in Mexico, June 21st, 2025, though. That's next year. And then I am focused on putting my product line that should be out spring, summer, no later. My further goal, 5-year plan, is to have my own space. I am still going back and forth as I'm not sure if I want a salon or if I want a suite building. So one is like where it's just people working and doing lashes, maybe a nail tech, maybe makeup artist, but it will just be a salon space, an open storefront. And then my other option I'm going back and forth is if I want a building with different suites where people own their own business. So I'm still going back and forth. Me and my fiance have been trying to figure out what I'm more passionate and what's like best to start with, at least, because I can have both if I really want, but got to start somewhere. So that's really like, that's my 5-year plan, is to get one of those up and running for sure.
Okay, yeah, I love that plan. I really do love that plan.
Yes, and like 10-year plan, or not even 10 years. Like while I'm doing this, I want to have more of girl events, like more women empowerment events. Like that is like my ultimate passion. I think that's why I love beauty so much, is because I'm really for the girls. Like I'm a girls. Like some people be like, oh, girls are this, a girl are that, but ultimately those are just not the right girls. But I love women and I love empowering women. I love women empowering me. I'm big on you should have friends that empower you and you should have friends that you can empower. Like I want my single friends that I can help them. Like, girl, you need to get in a relationship. Like, God ultimately made men and women as well for us to have partners. But then I also want someone on the other hand showing me and guiding me who's wiser than me to teach me things. So I definitely want to go to more networking events and hopefully have my own. As I told Jazz, I want her to do a tour.
No, definitely. If she thinks it's coming to Atlanta, like we're definitely gonna put together an event in Atlanta. Maybe after your wedding, we can like focus on that, because I know you probably are doing a lot of planning for that.
That's perfect.
After your wedding, we can focus on doing something real big out in Atlanta.
Yes, that's perfect, because there's events here all the time, and not all of them are quality events.
Right. And that's the biggest thing with me. Like, I literally pray to God about this, and I say this a lot. Like, I just always pray that I stay authentic and genuine, because a lot of people are chasing a dollar. A lot of people are like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. I'm like, don't chase the money. You will never hear me out my mouth say that I'm chasing a dollar. I'm never chasing money. I'm chasing my passion and making an impact, and everything else is just going to gravitate towards me. Point blank, period. Like, I'm not worried about.
Different.
Yeah, like I'm
That's
not worrying about driving around in Rolls Royces or getting a Birkin bag
me
and
either, girl.
having AP watches. Like
Me
that's not
either.
important to me because people can really have all that stuff and be so empty inside. And I
Yep.
don't want to be empty. So that's really important to me. So I really would be excited to really get together with you and put together an event. I really feel like that would be super amazing.
For
So we're
sure.
definitely gonna
And I
make
feel
that
like
happen.
that definitely will happen. And I think that's where we connect most. Like I'm fine with just my house, my kids, heavy on house. I want a house.
Right.
And I will be like the happiest girl in the world. Like I don't need no Rolls Royce. I'm good.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But
So speaking of
what
that, right? How do you make time? How do you make time for Asada?
I definitely make time for Asada. I'm not one of those that struggle business wise with making time for Asada. But also I feel like this might sound crazy, but Asada is Lash Out Lounge too. So it's like that people be like, you how do you make time for yourself and stuff? But I promise you, I get so much thrill and satisfaction over like my clientele, being around them and just putting everything into my business. Like I get so happy about that. But trust and believe when I need self-care, I'm gonna book my nail appointment, I'm gonna book my hair appointment. So I make
Absolutely.
time for myself all the time. But I
Uh-huh.
try to do mine in a strategic way. So if I see that my clientele, so because the way my schedule is, I keep my schedule open 6 days a week. So I know most people have 2 days off. I don't do that. So I have mine like Monday through Saturday you can book, and then Sunday that's for church. But like Monday through Saturday you can book. But if I see like Monday through Saturday, they booking, but Tuesday is the day that I don't see nobody booking. I'm gonna block that day off, and that's gonna be my second off day. So I try to do that. Sometimes it don't work out. Like if it's a holiday week, I'm probably gonna be working all 6 days, but most times I'll try to do that. But I'm fine with that. Like that doesn't bother me. Also, it could be because I'm working towards my goals. Once I get comfortable where I reached the bigger goal I'm trying to reach, like the shop, the suite, the house, and my wedding, then it'll be like, oh girl, I'm only working 4 days a week, or I'm only working 3 days a week. But for now, I'm fine with that. Like
Yeah. I love that because that's so important.
mm-hmm.
And I was gonna say too, like even though you do find love and passion in what you do, LeBron loves basketball. I think somebody told me that was it LeBron? I don't know. Or was it Kobe and Jordan?
Might have
Whatever
been
it is,
Jordan.
but LeBron literally spends LeBron loves basketball. He plays basketball all the time, right? But he literally spends $1 million a year on just self-care, like making sure that he's good. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's important that you allot that time for yourself because even something as simple as like I be seeing so many people be like, oh, I do it myself. I do my own nails. I do my own lashes. I am a paid
Mm-hmm.
for service person.
Me
I
too.
want to go sit and be pampered. Like
Me
I love
too.
that.
Mm-mm. I don't do nothing myself. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
y'all that right now. The only thing I might do myself is skincare. Like ever since, because I grew up with like acne and I struggled during puberty stages. So, and I had braces, glasses, I had all of it all. So I'm very big on my skincare. So that's really all I can say that I focus on myself. But I'm an esthetician. I went to school for that. So I
Right.
have to learn skin. So that's probably why. But other than that, I'm paying for my hair, my nails, my lashes, my wax. I'm paying for it all. And I'm gonna make time, honey. I don't care. I make time. I've never
Yes.
struggled with making time for self-care. But that's also because like I like to feel good. And if that's another thing I realize people fail to forget is that when you don't make that time, that's why your stuff like you start to hate your job or hate your work or your stuff don't come out. Like I feel like if your nail tech is always looking beat up or like I know people be like making this a joke. They be like, oh, my hairstylist don't do good if her hair not done or something like that. They be making that a joke, but I feel like if they're always beat up, that's why your stuff don't last, or that's why you like, dang, she kind of didn't do that good this time because she don't feel good. If you don't feel good, you don't work good, you don't do good. Like they have to take those time for themselves. So don't want y'all shouldn't be praying on y'all hairstylists to not look good.
That's so true, Saga. That is very, very true. So
Like
true. Cause like you said, like if you look good, you feel good. Like don't get me wrong, like even earlier today I looked a hot ass mess and I felt really good. Like I had a really good day. But it's like I was in transition. I washed my hair, I was about to go get my hair done. But legit, like some days, like if I'm feeling down or something like that and I don't want to do nothing, if I get up and get dressed, it's like, oh, Where did birds come from?
It changes everything. It
Yeah,
changes everything. And yeah, don't get me wrong. Like sometimes you just like for me, because I don't even get my lashes done. Everybody thinks like I'm a lash tech and I get my lashes done. Like that's one thing I like to just pull my like I don't know, this sounds weird, but I like to be bare on my lashes. Like I like to be able to just pull it. Right now, these are little clusters I just put on real quick. But
yeah,
most times, y'all, my clients be coming in here like you never wear lashes, but that's just one thing that I find with being bummed out about. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, like I have good natural lashes, but sometimes I'm like, well, I think I'm gonna go get my lashes done. It just like a little pizzazz, like a little,
Yeah,
because
especially
I
on
got
day.
my eyebrows ombre, so my eyebrows are tattooed on.
Oh,
So it's
I
like
want
I
to do it
love just
so
the convenience.
bad. Yes,
You
I
are
want to
just
do
like
that.
that was really like the best investment that I've ever made is
I think I'm
getting
gonna do
my
that.
eyebrows tattooed on because it's like I would draw my eyebrows on, but it's like the feeling of just
You,
waking up and having your eyebrows
and
already
yours
together
look
is
natural
fire.
though.
Yeah,
That's what I'm scared of. I don't want them to not look natural. That's why I haven't done it yet. Because my mom has done it, but yours look really natural. I wouldn't even know you did it.
thank you.
Some
Yeah,
girls
you
don't
just
look
really.
natural. Some be too dark for me.
But that's why you really have to like when you go to somebody, you really have to like look at their work, and even when you go to them, have an idea of what you want your eyebrows to look like, and show
That's
them a
true.
picture.
That's
Because
true.
honestly, sometimes like when they first get them done, it will be darker, but then as time goes on, it will like fade out and look more and more natural as
That's
time goes
fine though, as long as it fade out. But
on.
I
Yeah,
can't do it where it just stay dark. I'm freaking
no,
because
I
I'm
feel
already
you.
pale. I'm pale, so like I need a
Yeah,
little color, but not that much.
no, I feel you. So in like side by side comparison of like you make time for yourself or whatever like that, how do you make time for your fiance?
Oh, that's a struggle, y'all. I know.
Oh,
And you know what? I thank God every day that he is as vocal as he is. Because everybody thinks because I'm the loud one and he's quiet that he's not vocal, but he is very vocal to me. So that is a good thing. He knows that if he don't vocalize to me that I'm not doing something correctly or I've been missing a lot, then I'm not gonna notice because I'm so tuned in to something right now. So I just have to sometimes just take a step back. I have to tell myself like this is someone you care and you love about. Like when people come to you and get their services done, they don't care about what you love about or what you do in a day to day. They don't care about your health. They don't care about anything. They say they do, but they really don't. Because at the end of the day, we all are for ourselves. It's God made us, and we all. That's one thing that we all lack is that we're self-driven. So, I feel like I just had to remind myself, like I have to keep giving myself that constant reminder because I'm always constantly struggling with that. I'm not even going to be very transparent. I still struggle with that. I'm very good at making sure I cook and I clean, but he needs quality time sometimes. And for me, quality time is just we could just be watching a movie or something. But I feel like he's different in a way where like you would think it's me who'd be like, oh, I need date night. No, my man is the one that'd be like, babe, we haven't like gone on a date or we haven't done this. And I kind of love that about him because it'd be like, girl, chill out. Don't worry about work. Let's go on a date. Let's have a good meal or some type of spontaneous thing because I like spontaneous things. But yeah, I need to do better with that. I'm not to be very it's hard when you're a business owner. You're constantly thinking of what you could do next or how you can improve, and you forget to take that step back and look at the people around you who need you too, or who need your time. And that's what I'm trying to work on because before I have kids, I want to make sure I'm intentional about the things I do and I'm available.
yeah,
Because if my baby need me, I'm dropping everything. The business has gotta go.
right.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm still working on that. But all I could do is have him remind me and then me take a step back. I have to tell myself, like, do you want to lose your relationship or do you want to lose your business? And I feel like you have to put I put God and then my man. The business come next. Money is not that valuable to me that I'm going to put it before him. So I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, like no, you have to have your own, you have to have your own. But I personally know that I wouldn't be able to continue to have my own without him.
right.
So I need that balance for sure.
And I feel like when I talked to the interview I did before you it was my
Yeah.
friend Sarah and she's married and she spoke about that about how like she balances everything and um I think something that I've like heard repeatedly is
Yeah.
having like monthly check-ins. So like once a month, you guys just sit down and you kind of go over like what's something that happened maybe like last month that we didn't really get to address, but it's something that you want moving forward to be like an adjustment. And even like on a week to week, just like maybe like you wake up an hour earlier or you take out an hour time and it's like, hey babe, how was this week for you? Like, you know what I mean? Like just
Yes.
I know like you say you like spontaneity, but sometimes I feel like having that schedule kind of will put you back on track where you remember like, okay, this is something I really enjoy doing. So let's get into it. It's like, let's make it where, all right, I got time on this day. So let me go and drop by and drop my man off something to eat because he always drops me off something
Mm-hmm.
to eat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think
And
sometimes
that's what I would say he's really good at, because he fasts the first week. Sometimes I ain't gonna say I'm not consistent, but he fasts the first week of every month. So when the first week of every month comes, he has to basically cut out social media. He deletes it off from his phone. He has to cut off. That's just his promise to God. He has to cut out social media. He can't eat fast food, all that stuff, and he has to think about things that he wants done or changed in his life. And that's when he usually vocalize. Okay, my cat. I'm sorry, y'all. This is
no,
like
you're
this is
girl,
when
she's
he
been in the background for that long.
like, oh my God, just noticed. This is when he vocalizes those things. And that's when I had to be like, okay, I gotta do better here. And this is when usually when I vocalize how I feel about things he's doing too. But yeah, you're right. Definitely having that schedule is very, very good. I'm not really good at that as much as he is, but I do need to that weekly thing, like you said, or monthly, the first week every month would be a great idea.
Yeah. Just
That's
to
very true.
incorporate it
And
because
you
it's
said
like
she's married already, so that probably is really good advice I need to take.
yeah, definitely. And the other thing that she already said that you already do is like put God first and ask God for
For
what is
guidance.
it? For guidance, but also for um like she asked God to make sure that whatever she's doing, he's accepting it. Like he's saying that okay, that's a green light, go ahead and do it. So yeah, that's
Because
important
your man
too.
is supposed to lead you through God too. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
so
true. Very true. I love that
that's
she said that, because I'm
yeah.
very big on that. We actually are like going through churches right now, though. We're still trying to find a church home here. We went through so many. We're going to this Sunday. We're going to another one, so we'll see how it goes. I think I don't know. I don't even feel like we're being picky. I just feel like it's a lot of huge churches here, and I want to find something in the middle, not too big, not too small.
Yeah.
Um, I don't like to feel overwhelmed, and I don't like to feel like I can't personally go talk to the pastor or something and he knows who I am.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of these churches here are like, all right, stop. A lot of these churches here are like pastors who have several different locations. So that I
Yeah.
definitely get that they have to do that. That's a really good thing. They're reaching a lot of people, but I want to be able to access you when I want to access you. I know it sounds selfish, but I don't want you to be here one week and the next week is a visiting pastor or someone else, you know?
Yeah. No,
So
I
I'm trying to figure it
definitely
out.
understand that. And
Yeah.
I feel like churches wherever two or more, was it two or three or more gather in his name. So it's like, even if
That's
sometimes you have to
true.
take the time to just be you and Devin and y'all are having church and y'all are going over certain things within yourselves, I think that's important too.
That's
If
true.
sometimes you need to take a time off because it's like you searching and searching and searching may not be the answer, but maybe it'll come to you, you know, eventually as you guys are like kind of going through the motions. And that doesn't mean that every Sunday y'all can't just get together, you know, and have
That's
a
true.
experience where y'all read the Bible and everything together.
Very true. Very true.
So with that said, do you feel like it sounds like he helps you a lot in everything you do, right? But do you feel like from your own personal experience, being in a relationship helps or hinders your growth in business?
Um, It depends on your partner. You have to know your partner. It depends on who you're with and who you chose to be your partner. For me personally, it helps. He's no hindrance at all. I've been seeing these videos now where lash checks are showing their husbands or their boyfriends more, and it's like a funny thing where it's like the husband are saying, my wife is a lash tech and I have to build this every day, or my wife is a lash tech and I have to come to her shop to do this. And it's like real life. Like I feel like this is as much as his business as it is mine. Like he loves to see me driven about it. And I think that also comes because he saw me going to law school track, and he was my biggest supporter in changing that. He did not want me to do that at all because he felt like in his heart, my heart wasn't there. So I think for him, it's also like he gets a thrill about it, out of seeing how big this can get or how good and successful I could become from it. So it gotta be the right partner. And you definitely can feel when someone is for you and not for you. And trust me and believe he's trying to he's a analyst, so he has his own corporate job, but he's
Okay.
trying to open up his own car rental business. And I'm going to
Okay.
be just as supportive. So I think you have to be able to do the same thing. So when I know his business is about to start up, I have to take a little step back and talking about mine to support his. So you just have to have the right person that's willing to do that with you. But I don't think it's a hindrance at all. The only hindrance is if that person don't believe in you, then you need to get rid of them and keep it moving.
No, no, for real.
That's basically
Um,
it. And don't
yeah,
be
and I
selfish though. Don't be selfish. That's the big thing people have.
yeah.
Like I'm not selfish. I know when he speaks, I have to listen and I have to take his I would never just validate how he feels. Like
Mm-hmm.
I take that in consideration, I change my actions. A lot of people are selfish. They see like, well, you see that I'm trying to work towards this, so you have to accept it. No, that's not how things work.
Yeah. No, and I think that's really big. And like you said, not discrediting his feelings and actually validating his feelings is very important. And
Yeah.
even on both ends, from for him, for you, and you for him as well. I
Right.
think some people kind of get so caught up in a relationship that, like you said, how you said, instead of you needing to make time for him, is you needing to make time for your business. And I think that's sometimes where it gets gray. And it's like, no, like if you're in a relationship with somebody and they understand what you're trying to do and their goals and your aspirations, then they're going to be supportive of what you're doing, and they're going to know that
Mm-hmm.
you're with them, and when you have time you will definitely make time. And I'm sure that every night y'all sleep in the same bed, so although that's
Mm-hmm.
not date night like he wants, I feel like that's a part of affirming someone, like, you know what I mean,
Yes.
like we're
Yes.
together, we in this, we locked in. To right now may not be what we ideally want for each other, but this is the growing pains, so I think
Yes,
being
no,
understanding
for
that is important.
sure. Growing pains.
Yeah. Okay, so the last two questions I have for you, the first one being, what advice would you give to your 12-year-old self?
My 12-year-old self. My 12-year-old self. This is like crazy because I just said I was gonna purchase that shadow work journal from Amazon so I could like do this type of stuff. I think I would tell myself that you like give myself a hug and tell myself that you'll be okay. You're beautiful. Um, Beautiful inside and out. I think my 12-year-old self was not as confident as I am now. Um, I would tell myself that you will find your person and that person will support you through it all. Your relationship with God will go beyond what you have ever expected. You're gonna fall back a lot, and then you're gonna come back, and you're gonna always do it. Um, I think I would tell myself that I don't know, like life is a roller coaster. You'll go through a lot of things, a lot of ups and downs, but you're gonna weather the storm. Um, Always do things with your heart, always do things with intent, and always think about the things you say before you do. That's the biggest thing I would say is think about the things you say before you say it. Um, Being blunt is not an excuse to say what you want to say. I feel like my 12-year-old self might have been too vocal sometimes to the point where I thought I was giving people what they needed to hear, but it's like, no, being blunt is not an excuse. Like sometimes think about what you say and think about how that can affect how other people feel. But mostly just you're going to shine. You're going to be good. You're going to be confident. You're going to be a Black woman doing good things in a big city, like, and you got more to come. So I would just empower myself as much as possible because I think that 12-year-old me was scared and nervous and so focused on being a lawyer because that lawyer is like a career that embodies a strong woman. So I think
Right.
I wanted to be a lawyer so bad to embody something that I already was, that I
Mm.
already could be that without being that career. So yeah, that
I love that.
yeah.
But if you could give advice to somebody who wants to be successful in your industry, what advice would you give that person?
Um, if you want to be successful in the lash industry, for sure, do not see people as competition. I feel like that's my biggest advice is that competition is great. So do not see people as competition in a negative way. I feel like a lot of girls come in the industry now and they see like someone doing good or someone near them and they see that person's competition, like, no, you guys can work together and be even bigger together than apart. So I think honestly that would be my biggest yeah, that would be my biggest advice is that when you get into this industry, stay in your lane, do what you know is best for you. If you're really good at wispy sets, I want to see you do some bomb wispy sets. I don't want to see you selling ebooks for this and that, but you're good at bomb wispy sets. Like it's been killing me lately with the people in the industry selling things that has nothing to do with what they're really good at.
Girl,
So,
don't get me
or
started.
they haven't even mastered a specific thing before they're selling something. So, that's what's been really killing me. So,
It
don't
burns
see
me
people as
up, girl. It burns me up.
it's been killing me too. Trust me. Like, and it's been like a lot of the lash techs specifically, like people in the beauty industry, like selling ebooks for no reason. It has nothing to do with anything. Like, I feel like I have one ebook, and my ebook really actually has to do with my business. So I'd be like, I don't know what you guys are selling. And also, I'm not selling the ebook for other people to resell. Like, I'm selling like something I actually wrote. Like, people are selling things just for you to resell it and then tell you that you're going to make $1 million tomorrow by this one ebook. Or I made 6K this morning
I'm
based
trying
off
to
this
stop because
one.
you about to get me started. You about to get me fired up.
Like, let's be very realistic. When I dropped my ebook, I made like $150 that day. Then the next day I made a little bit more and then a little bit more, a little bit. I did not wake up and make 7K or 8K or $10,000 in one day off the ebook that you resold from somebody else. Like, so I'm just tired of seeing that. But the biggest advice is do not see people as competition. See people like that you see and do good. See that as inspiration. Make it drive you, force you, push you. Do the best you can be and master your skill. You don't like the jack of all trades is good to have, but you have to master one. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's really it.
Yeah. I love that. Asada, you are so good. I love talking to you. We definitely have to do
Thank
this again.
you.
Maybe next time we can go live.
Yes. Oh
We
yeah,
can
we
tap
should
into each
definitely go
other's
live. That'll be fun because this is a good combo.
yeah, we should definitely do that.
And
Um
we could do like a back and forth interview.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But I love this for you and I love you as a
I
person,
love you
inside and out.
too.
You're just a beautiful person inside and out.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see where you go with this business, with anything that you have that you have on your heart that you wanna bring to life. I'm very excited for you because I know that you're gonna do amazing things. The biggest advice I have for you is to just continue to authentically and genuinely be you and believe in you. Don't ever question what's for you because what's for you will always be for you. And it wouldn't come if it wasn't made for you. You know, even if it's something adversity or something that you like, what the hell? Why is this going on? It's coming to you for a reason. So just embrace it, go through it, and learn the lesson and walk away from it as the winner that you are. Um,
Thank you. I
and
appreciate
like
that.
I
I love you
said,
too.
oh, and like I said, like if you ever need help with anything and advice with anything, definitely reach out. I'm up all night because I work overnight. But definitely like I'm always here. I'm always a phone call away if you need help with anything. Always reach
Thank
out.
you. Thank you. And I want you to know that you also like inspired me and my cousin for doing the beauty bond business and be going on live a lot. Because she said she talked to you and you told her like you guys can work together. Even though you guys are in different states, you guys can benefit each other. And she took that and she reached out to me and was like, let's focus on benefiting each other. And we've been doing that ever since. So I want to
Wow, that's
thank
so
you.
crazy. I would never have thought that
Yeah,
I was
she
the one
really
that did
did.
it. That's crazy.
I promise you, she came to me and she said that she was like, she told me this, and I was like, okay, well, let's do it.
Right. Oh, I love
So
that.
yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Of course. It was a pleasure. I hope you have a great night and you get good rest.
You too. Bye, Will.
Bye.